Hi everyone, this is Nikki and you're watching my December 23, 2022 Awesome 10X Global Market Update. So this is going to be an interesting topic. We're going to be explaining options like I'm 5. So this is really for beginners who don't really understand options. They got into trading, they thought that options was too advanced. I myself thought it was the same. I thought it was too hard. Initially, I actually lost I lost at least $50,000 on a sell put, which is a cash secured put. Now, you might say, what is a put option? What is a call option? In layman's terms, I'm going to explain how these things work to manage your risk. Hope that you can understand. I may do some jargon that you would have to do some Wikipedia or Google search about. But definitely, I will explain to you how I utilize options, how I really make money with very little risk. There is a risk, obviously, but there are systems that we can create to actually minimize our risk, or at least we are defining our risk. We know how much risk that we are taking on the spot and how much reward we are expecting to make if it's a directional trade or simply a neutral trade. So thank you for everyone who's been liking, subscribing, and watching Awesome 10X videos over the course of this 2022, or if you've been watching us ever since year 2020 when we started since May 1. So it's going to be an interesting journey. 2023 is going to be an impactful year as well. I think that I would still have my free Friday class on December 30, 2022. I'll give you a year ender, and it's going to be quite an interesting topic. I've already thought about the topic next week, which is going to be basically the most important chart systems and basically how to trade options and manage your risk very, very well in the outlook for 2023 recession and your leaders that will continue to still go higher, which are your energy names. So 2023 is going to be very exciting. It's going to be very volatile. You might actually see capitulation bottoms next year. And therefore, you might even see some generational lows happen next year. So it's very important that you have cash. We will explain to you why cash is really wonderful. Options, I would tell you, is utilizing only 5 to 10% of my account in terms of risk exposure. And yet I can make trades that are equivalent to about 80-90% of my total stock exposure had I been bullish or bearish that same stock with less drawdown than is possible with stocks. So with that said, I think that we should go discuss it. All right, so let's share my screens. Let's go explain options like I'm 5. So it's December 23, 2022, LI, no? So explain it like I'm 5. So these are just a snapshot of my yesterday's trades. And I'll tell you why I held on to them. And I also tell you why I took profits on some of them. So obviously you can see that here. Let me explain this one by one. When you make a multi-leg options trade, it means that for this type, example, this is a bearish spread. A bearish spread is a bearish direction on a debit. Debit meaning I'm paying for it. So options you can make two kinds. You can make debit spread wherein you are paying, or you could make a credit spread similar to this one, which is Starbucks bear spread, where I'm getting paid. So it's either I pay or I get paid first. So when I pay or a debit spread, what I'm really doing here is I am making a directional call that McDonald's by January 27, 2023 would go below 275, in which case I will already automatically make money if McDonald's falls below 275 minus my put option spread paid net debit of 4.7. So that means 275 minus 4.7, my real break-even cost here in McDonald's is $271.30. So 270.3 because that is 275 minus my debit paid, which is 4.7. Now, a put option is a directional bet that the market is that the stock per se or the underlying asset, in this case is McDonald's, would fall below my strike price, which I determined myself. So basically, when you are creating bearish spreads, you are setting the strike. It could have been $280, it could have been $270, it could have been $250. And if I make a mistake on the strike price, I would not make money because the strike price is very important to be in the money before the date of expiry. So this is the date of expiry, which is January 27, 2023. Today is December 23. So that's about more than 30 days from now. When I made this option, it was around 45 day to expiry, around 45 to 50 day to expiry, because I started making my McDonald's bear spreads between December 1 till December 13. So actually, McDonald's bear spread started to give me a signal to start shorting December 1 and then December 6 until December 13. So technically, those were 3 days that I could continually keep on shorting McDonald's and keep on paying only $4.70. So sometimes when you create an option similar to this one, I have a yum bear spread paying 3.13 with a February expiry and a 130 strike. So basically what you're seeing here is the first number here is my strike price. For those who are new here, what is a strike price? A strike price is simply a price level that you promise to basically sell the position. So in this case, McDonald's bear spread, I paid for a contract to basically sell McDonald's at 275. And you can see that I paid $4.70 for this. And the reason why I'm paying only $4.70 is because after I bought the put, I also sold the put. In this case, the second line here is the 250. Now, why am I selling a put? If you're saying, isn't it that you are bearish the position, why do you sell a put? When you're bearish, shouldn't you be buying a put? You're right. So I'm buying a 275 put, but I'm selling a 250 put to basically cap my upside. Now you might say, why are you capping your upside, right? So like, of course, you want your upside to be all the way. So you should just be buying a January 27, 2023, 275 naked put. Now, guys, if you buy a naked put, that is going to give you undefined reward. Basically, you can earn so much money if McDonald's indeed hits $230, $220 all the way. Unlike what I did here, which was a 250 bear put, wherein I limited my downside for McDonald's only at 250, which means that even if McDonald's falls below 250, let's say 249 or 248, my maximum reward will only be, if you calculate that, what is the width of the spread here? 275 minus 250 is $25, guys. And maximum reward, 25. Every contract is, one contract is 2,500, is 100 shares. So if the width spread here is $25, that means maximum reward is $2,500. Meaning, my $470 here could potentially hit 2,500, or basically a 1:5 risk reward. This is the reason why I wanted to take this trade, because 25 minus 470 is $2,030, which means that my McDonald's bear spread can easily go as high as 400% gain, guys. If by January 27, 2023, if McDonald's hits 250 or lower. Now, naturally, below 271, below 270, I'm already earning. So to explain to you what exactly happened to my McDonald's bear spread, let's go to the exact chart of McDonald's here. Guys, still with me? I hope that you're still with me. You need to repeat my class here. Don't worry. I also started options. Probably I had to binge watch really a lot of videos, and I even had to create a lot of setups, and until I really got the gist of how to make money on options consistently. So you can see that this is the McDonald's chart. I started shorting it actually here December 13, here the $280. So I was able to, it's about $280 to $276 here when I started shorting McDonald's. Now you'll notice that typically if you had to short McDonald's for 100 shares, you would have really needed, in this case, 275 times 100, I needed $27,500, guys, just to make a short on McDonald's. Now, for small accounts, definitely $27,500 is quite a lot of money just to short McDonald's. So even if you wanted to short McDonald's, you wouldn't be able to short 100 shares with a small account. With the beauty of options, guys, we can make a bearish spread, a debit spread here with only a loss, with only a maximum risk of $470, which is the price I paid. Because I bought a 275 bearish put. I bought a put 275, which was at the money during that time. And I predicted that McDonald's would fall down in mild direction towards the 250 area here, which is the mean average price for McDo over the last couple of months. If you'll notice, the mean reversion trade of McDonald's has been around 240 to $250. So I was expecting that McDonald's, after rallying all the way towards the upper trend of resistance here at about 280s, would get some profit taking and it would fall back towards $250 by January 27, 2023. So it's very important that you know your timeline. How fast can it fall? And how much time will it actually occur? Because obviously, if I use the McDonald's 275, 250 bear spread, had I not chosen January, had I chosen, say, December 30, 2022, I would have gotten more than 100% gain because at 265, it's getting closer towards 250. I am in the money, but obviously, if it hits 250, that's when I hit the McDonald's around the 400% return will be achieved. So far, if you'll notice, even when McDonald's only fell from 275 to 265, the fact that I bought my bearish spread yields for McDonald's at less than 2%, you'll notice $4.70, which is my bearish put spread paid versus 275 is a mere less than 2%. Did you notice that? I'm gonna give you the exact way to calculate. So I'm gonna show to you my screen. Can you see my screen here? Which is my Excel file. Let me see lang if I'm able to show it. Yeah, nakita nyo. Okay, let's go. All right, since you can see my screen, so this is just, typical Excel file. Okay, so I paid 4.7 for McDo and divide that by 275, which was my strike. You'll notice that I paid how much yield? 1.71%. So what I'm saying here, guys, is that it's very important that when you buy a debit spread, you need to make sure that your yield versus the strike is very, very minimal because the break-even price for your position is determined by how much you paid. So in this case, it's my break-even is 275 minus 4.7. I only start to make money if McDonald's falls below $270. So I'll give you an example. Why is it that here I have a McDonald's? This one, yeah. Look, take a look at this. Actually, for this McDonald's bear spread, you can still create this because the market is still giving you about $2 in terms of reward for a risk of $8. How do I know that the risk is $8? 290 minus 280, diba? So 10, which is the maximum width spread, 10 minus 2 is 8. So my maximum risk in this McDonald's bear spread is 8. You can actually make this trade even until now because you only have 60 days left for expiry before this time decay runs out. Okay, I'll explain this as much as possible as I can. As I said, you'll notice that your bear spreads or strike prices are very important. Take note. This is my McDonald's January 27, 275 strike put with a 250 sell put on the lower strike. That's up 100%. Whereas this McDonald's bear spread, which is February 2023, with a lower strike of 270, with a lower put strike of 270. 270 is lower than 275. I had to pay $5. So you'll wonder, how come for this McDonald's bear spread, I paid $5.20, whereas in here it's $4.70? Naturally, the reason is because this is Jan 27 expiry and this is February 23 expiry. So you should understand that your debit spreads will definitely cost more for obvious reason. Your debit spreads will cost more on February 27, 2023, rather than expiring January 27, simply because you have 30 days more time to be proven right. If you're bearish, the markets will pay you higher if you get a correct move, guys, within you can. I'm open for questions, guys. While I'm talking, just place in the comment whatever questions you have, but hopefully your questions are within the same topic. So if I'm talking about options, try to ask something within the same topic. Don't ask me something that is unrelated to what I'm talking about, okay? I can clarify whatever I'm talking about, okay? All right, so as I said, for bear spreads, you are paying, right? So it's obvious, guys, that the option spread that you're paying is much more expensive if it's obviously at a farther time, right? So if it's like 275, 250 for McDonald's bear spread on January, versus February or versus March, January is going to be cheaper because you're predicting that McDonald's is going to fall by January. Whereas a person who's predicting February it will fall or March it will fall has more time to be right. So definitely if I'm buying, let's say, S&P 500 bear spreads for, let's say I'm going to predict that S&P 500 bear spreads are going to fall below 4,000 by December 30, 2022, which I did actually. I already took profit. That's why you can't see it in my snapshot. The moment that the S&P 500, which was trading at 4.1 then, fell and pierced below 4,000, my debit spreads for my S&P 500 bearish puts immediately became 100% within just 5 days. So the beautiful thing about bearish debit spreads, I'll explain, is that it takes a very low risk to make a play directional view. You're gonna just take a low risk. We're talking about bearish puts or bullish calls. You can do this on both sides. You can make a bearish put position if you're bearish in a position, and that's a debit spread, or you can make a bullish call position, which is a bullish trade compared to buying a stock. Let's say if I bought 100 shares of Amazon, I'd have to shell out $8,500, guys, minimum in my buying power just to implement it. I'd need 100 shares of Amazon in IBKR will require me to own $8,500 capital. Now, even if you tell me it's margin, IBKR will still force me to have at least $4,000 of at least capital, and I'm gonna be leveraged if I'm gonna do that. Now, conversely, what if I don't buy the Tesla shares or the Amazon shares outright? What if I simply make a bullish spread or a bearish spread? You'll realize that a bearish spread can just cost you $400, $500. And if you're right, as I said, my McDonald's bear spread, if I'm right, my $500 risk could potentially hit a $2,000 reward. That's 1:4. So if I lose $500, that's the maximum that I'll lose. If I win $2,000, $2,000, 2,500 for only 500 risk. Now, if you'll ask me, is it very achievable that you will hit that $2,500 reward? Naturally, you will take a look at the probabilities. The probability of you hitting that max reward is 40% hit ratio. So typically, guys, I will not really maximize that all the way that McDonald's will fall straight towards 250 by January 27, 2023. I could be correct that it falls, but it only falls mildly. Let's say McDonald's goes $265 only for the next 10 days. So McDo fell, it's below 270, but it didn't hit 250. I'm still profitable, guys. How? Because my 275 puts at 265 has an open gain of $10 and I control 100 shares. So 10 times 100 means $1,000 profit. And since I paid $470, I have an open intrinsic value gain of $530. And that's the reason why when you look at my exact trade, look at that exact trade. Look at this. I can clearly say that my $470 here is $530 in the money, guys, which is above 100%, even before January 27, 2023. Assuming that today is January 27, 2023, that is in the money bear put. So I didn't hit my 250 target, but I'm still in the money for the precise reason that it's below the strike. 275 is my strike price, and McDonald's today is 265. So obviously, guys, if it is a put position, a bearish put position, how does it make money? Directionally, you should be correct that is below the strike price of your put. The stock price today should be below the strike. Okay, that's basically it. So obviously, I made money there because McDonald's fell. I paid for a very low yield. So this is the reason why we keep on reiterating to people, you could be correct in shorting a name. But if the premium that you paid exceeded 10%, even if the stock falls 10%, you're just break even. You would not make money if you are paying a 10% premium just to break even. Okay? So the reason why I made money is because I only paid 1.7% on my McDonald's trade, whereas McDonald's fell from 275 to 265. That's 5% drop. Do you understand why I made money? Okay. For those who are asking to copy my eToro, right now, because right now, kasi, eToro, for eToro, so somebody's mentioning, um, actually, for my eToro, I'm in cash currently. Naka-cash ako, but I have pending open positions. So I have an open position tonight to buy Tesla at 125. The stop loss here would be about 10% drawdown. If in case Tesla falls below 115, I will hit a loss. But it looks to me that Tesla tonight is actually very oversold. In fact, I'm going to be explaining that tonight. So basically, I would put a trade if it's really important to make a trade. But if there's no trade, that's the reason why I'm just in cash. You'll notice that everything I have is in cash today. And I only said that for eToro, you will not be able to copy me manually because eToro will consider my trading style as high risk when in fact, guys, it's not really high risk because what I do is I trade only $2,000 there and I actually keep $18,000 in the bank. So I've always told everyone who follows me on eToro, I only trade $1,000 to $2,000 there, which is 5 to 10% risk. Meaning I will really take a risk on my $1,000 or $2,000 there to be blown away. So if I'm wrong, my loss is 50% stop loss because I use a times 5 leverage. So a 10% drop on a times 5 is a 50% loss. Whereas if it goes up 10% up, that's actually a 50% gain. So let's talk about the systems. Many people, if they have a 50-50 hit ratio, mali pa rin yung system that you're collecting a loss of 50% when you're wrong. And yet when you're right, you're also collecting 50%. Dapat when you're collecting your reward, it should be 20% man lang or more than 10%. If your loss is down 10 and your up is up 10 and you have a 50-50 hit ratio, you should aspire to make your gain larger para maging positive expectation system yan. So for Tesla, you have to estimate if your downside could be 10%, your upside could be as high as 20% man lang to make the risk reward pay off for you. And so far, it looks to me that Tesla is actually in a oversold bounce plate in the next 2 days or 3 days, wherein I can actually make maybe 10% on the upside. So 10% or more on the upside. So I'm willing to make that bet. Kaya actually tonight, I do have a Tesla long position. Ito share count on eToro with the leverage play here. So I'm gonna invest or basically trade $250 with a stop loss of 113. Ang magiging take profit ko dyan mga nasa $140. Pag na-implement yung trade, I'll make a sell at 140 above. Now I'm also posted selling on Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, and Diaz. But usually guys, pag na-hit ko yung setup na gusto ko, i-replay ko yan. Nangyari kasi last December 13, the CPI data was really a tradable event. I sold a lot of bearish puts. So I made a lot of bear spreads, which is what I'm going to teach you today. I focused more on my interactive brokers. That's why you can see that even if it was a high eventful day, my trades are all in IBKR. It just so happens that ang dami kong trades na ginawa sa IBKR na hindi ko na pinansin yung eToro ko. Kasi obviously, my large account is in interactive brokers. It's not in eToro. Nonetheless, if you saw me shorting the S&P 500 in IBKR, tinetelegraph ko yan. I place it in Twitter. You would have followed me shorting SPY at 4,001. So it would have been the same. And if you always watch my classes here, even my Free Friday class, I think I've been very transparent in telling everyone that cash is going to be a wonderful play. You would have interest with cash. Meanwhile, you can short when the time is right. which happened coincidentally December 13 and December 14. We kept on saying that, guys, that the Fed rate hike is gonna inspire people to short the markets. So December 13 was a rally, and then December 14 was a rug pull. It was exactly the way we planned, and we executed it the way we planned. Nowadays, I think that the market will try to we have two scenarios to explain. I'm gonna explain to you. Actually, the scenario one is, yeah, we could rally a Santa rally towards 3.9, but we will get rejected. Obviously, mahirap for the market to hit 4,000. But if we get 4,000 SPY, really, all the more reason for you to short the market. So you can set it up now. Actually, in my eToro, nakaset up na yan. If S&P hits 4,000, that would be a short. If Dow Jones hits 34,000, that's a short. If the Nasdaq hits 11.8, that's a short. If the Dow Jones or the DIA hits 340, that would be a short. Meaning, if you get a 3% index rally in the marketplace from now until the next week, because it's going to be a so-called Santa rally by the people who are still hoping. I'm not hoping that it happens, but just in case it happens, I have cash ready to short that. Now, I'm also going to explain that in my IBKR, which already has short place, the reason why I like bearish put spreads, which I'm going to actually explain to you guys today. Bearish spreads, learn bullish calls, learn iron condors, learn all of these spreads, because the system works. The only reason I believe that people may not have properly understood options is because most people don't use combinations. Options are defined risks if you make it a combination. If you make a buy put and a sell put, which is what I did. I buy put on McDo at 275. I sell put on McDo at 250. When you sell a put, what it means is that you are already covering your McDonald's shorts at $250. As I said, even if McDo goes below $200 or $100, I will never collect that reward because my max reward is just limited to the maximum width spread that I created. So 275 minus 250 only has a max reward of the width. 275 minus 250 is $25. So I'll only have a maximum reward of $2,500 with my 470 risk. Since I paid 470, the actual earnings that I did was 25 minus 470, which is 2,030. Of course, when I start selling it, they will pay me 25. So, kasi yung cash outlay ko ng 470, tinatanggal yun sa buying power. Okay? Okay? So, pero if I'm correct, talagang max reward, $25 reward yun. But when I really calculate my my risk reward assessment, I do 25 minus 470. So 2,030 lang yung maximum reward for every one contract ng McDo ko. But as I said, imagine that one contract I just needed $470. So even if you have say a $1,000 account, you can make the same bear spread that I did on McDo. Yun. Of course, if you followed me on McDonald Bear Spread at 275, it means that it's similar in your eToro accounts. It's similar. You just simply click McDonald's and then post sell 275 and you would have gotten the same reward. Nagkataon kasi with options, if I took a $500 risk, I would lose money the moment that McDo breaks above 275. So, actually, I start losing money when McDo goes above 270.3 because I paid nga 4.7. So let's say on closing day, McDo is 273. It's below 275, pero it's just down 2. I paid 4.7. So technically, I'm still down $2.70. Diba? So yun lang yun. Okay, let's give you more examples, guys. I'm just on my first page. I have a lot of slides to explain. These are examples of bear spreads. I want you to know that a winning system is not simply about learning how to cut loss. And also you have to understand POP, or what it means, probability of profit. Profit probability. Kasi even if sabihin sa'yo na the profit probability of your bearish puts is just 45%, pero if 45% of the time you could hit 1:5 risk reward, of course you will take it. Because that is a positive expectancy game. Can you imagine? If I'm winning 5 times larger, sabihin na natin 4 times larger, almost 40% of the time. So 4 times 44 minus 1 times 56 is obviously greater. It's a positive sum game. The more I continue to make systems like that, I will create money, guys. And then the same thing for Berkshire Bear Spread. Look at this. I made the January 23, 2023, 310 put and 290 bear put. Why did this hit 100%? Notice, I paid just $3.98. Take note my recipe here. It's very, very strict. You only pay less than 3% yield. What's 3.98 versus 310? That's less than 2%, guys. And 2% niyan is $6 kagad, di ba? So it's very easy for me to double my money. I paid 4, naging $8 kagad, kaya naging 100%. Now, why did it hit $8? Because my put spread on Berkshire is 310. Where is Berkshire today? Look at Berkshire today. Look at Berkshire. This is your Berkshire. BRK.B. This is your Berkshire. I shorted 310. Your Berkshire today is 302. I am $8 in the money, guys. See that? I paid 4, but my intrinsic value today is $8. So what I'm saying here is that if I hold on till expiry, will my 100% gain actually dissipate? No, because I'm in the money. The more in the money you are, which I am, kasi 310 yung strike ng bear put ko, guys. Look at that. My bear put spread here on Berkshire is 310. My expiry is January. You have 30 days left and I'm in the money. Ang ibig ko sabihin dito is, lamang na ako. Let's explain this, no? Explain options like I'm 5. I explained to someone that this is just parang basketball for those who knows basketball teams in the Philippines. Well, dapat ginamit ko Ateneo UP. But anyway, sige. Let's say the classic rivalry of the Philippines, which is simply just Ateneo LaSalle, right? So let's explain. In the Ateneo LaSalle game or Ateneo UP game, to explain options is similar to just watching a game. Tumataya ka lang sa bear or sa bull. Okay? Ang tayaan natin ngayon is, alam natin, let's say, hindi pa nagsistart yung game. So the stock price hasn't opened yet. Sino mananalo? The Tesla Bulls or the Tesla Bears? Okay. Let's say today, so wala pang game, no? I'll give you an exact example. Ito si Tesla. Mag-bet tayo ngayon. Bull side ka or bear side ka? So Tesla has already fallen over 70%, guys. Okay? So medyo oversold na siya, may capitulation. And all the bears have had a parabolic run. Nag-parabolic na yung Tesla Bears. Ito yung Tesla Bears from $36 to $80. So there's a lot of reasons why a stock can be bought, even if downtrend siya. Only if oversold. So, ang ibig sabihin nito is, natambakan na talaga ng bears yung Tesla Bears, tinambakan na nila yung bulls. Now, the question is, sa odds na to, mag-odds play na tayo. Well, dito kasi sa example ko, madali lang eh. Dito kasi, kung naglabanan yung LaSalle and Ateneo, tapos tambak naman na talaga yung LaSalle, ang gagawin lang ng Ateneo is, syempre, as the odds favor Ateneo more and more, tumataas na yung risk ng, yung first game pa lang, risk 3 to win 2 for Ateneo. Kung lumamang na kasi yung Ateneo, syempre, the next quarter, magiging risk 4 na yan to win the same $100. And then kapag third quarter na, baka kailangan mag-risk ka na ng $600 just to win $100 kasi lamang na lamang ng Ateneo. And then after the fourth quarter, kung sabihin na natin, 30 points lamang ng Ateneo, very low probability for LaSalle to make a comeback with just with just 30 minutes left on with just, let's say, 5 minutes on the clock. You will have to bet 8 or 10 just for that miracle glory, or baka bet 100:1 na yun. So ganun lang yun. The more the days unfold in options, the more na malalaman mo who are the winners, the Bears or the Bulls at a certain strike. Kasi in a Lasal Ateneo game, madali lang yung game mo eh. Sinong panalo, winner or loser, bear or bull. But in an options game, you have to tell me kung sino yung panalo, ano yung date of expiry. 4 quarters ba tayo maglalaro? 4 days? 40 days? 50 days? Kailan natin madedetermine who's the winner? And then, how do we determine the winner? Let's set a price. Let's say ang presyo natin is, let's say ang gawin kong presyo is, sige, makipag-bet ako sa inyo ngayon. Tesla, in the next 40, 50 days, will remain above 115. Over-under lang ako. Di ako maglalaro ng, doon ako, ang gagawin kong laro is over, sa lahat-lahat ng mga basketball players na alam yung over-under. You can create a setup. Over 115 ang Tesla or under 115. Ganun lang labanan natin. Over or under. Tesla today is 125. Okay? This is the exact chart. This is Tesla, 125. The setup, guys, is that the question, guys, is if you bet today, while Tesla is 125, you will risk 350 to make 150. Kasi even the odds is saying, lamang ka pa, guys. 115 yung betting mo. Actually, matatalo ka lang nun pag Tesla goes below 113.5. Kasi babayaran na kita ng $150 ngayon eh. Ganun yung bullish spread. May ganong labanan. Now, in the bullish spread, guys, ito yung exact trade to, guys. Anyway, if you want to watch this, ito yun. So, syempre, the bear spreads will move or the bull spreads will move the more that you are in the money. Sample, today, Tesla 125. Bet ko over 115, di ba? So, ngayon, binabayaran mo ko ng $150. Let's say within the next 3 days, Tesla goes above 125. Nasa 135 na siya. Not only am I in the money by $10, now I have cushion of $20. Automatic yan, guys, because mas malabo na yung probability that Tesla will go below 115. The higher it goes, the higher the stock price goes. It doesn't have to go to the moon. Tesla just has to remain above 115. In fact, my break-even is 113.5. It doesn't even have to be above 115. Kahit na 116 lang yun, panalo ka pa rin. Ganun kalupit ang bullish debit spreads. Ang bullish call spreads. Gagawin mo lang doon is, dalawa. Pwede ka bullish put spreads or bullish call spreads. Dalawang labanan yan. Either you want to receive credit or you want to pay for the debit. Ito yun eh. Ito yung exact trade niyan. I did it just now actually. Here. You can make a bet, as I said, ilang quarters tayo maglalaro. Is it 1 quarter, which is 3 months? Or are we just gonna play for 1 month, diba? So if 1 month, January 20, you'll notice that if you sell the 115 put of Tesla, it's gonna be paying you $7.35. Now, to protect yourself, in case Tesla falls all the way towards 100, you have to buy a 110 put, diba? So you sell 115 put, receive 7.35, pay this 5.9 to protect you like an insurance, diba? So 7.35 minus 5.9, technically, you're just receiving $1.45, diba? So the condition is sell 115 put, 735 credit received, buy 110 put, 5.9 debit paid. Therefore, your net credit is $1.45. Now, this is 30 days to expiry. How about if you choose the 60-day expiry? I'll show to you. This is the 60-day expiry. Mas maganda to. Tesla pre-market opened already. And you can see na 4 p.m. pa lang, 4 p.m. New York time, which is 5 p.m. Philippine time, binabuy up na si Tesla after Elon Musk confirmed na he will not sell any shares any longer. You can see that if I sell puts 115 for February, which is 56 days away. So mas matagal. Give me 56 days to be right, parang ganun. That Tesla will go above 115 for the next 56 days. It doesn't have to be above 115 for the next 56 days. Kahit na next 10 days lang, above 115 na si Tesla, kikita ka na, guys. You don't need to hold all the way till expiration. If you sell 115, you receive 11.1. If you pay the 110, you have to pay 9.6. The difference is 11.1 minus 9.6 is how much? That is $1.50. So basically, you're getting paid if you sell, collect 11.1. If you buy 110 put, pay 9.6. The difference is $150. So nagkamali ako ng minus dyan, guys. Net profit received, $150. Maximum loss would be $350, which is the difference of the spread. 5 minus 0, 115 minus 110 is $5. I got $1.50. So maximum receive loss, maximum receive is 150. Max loss would be 350. But the probability is very high that you will end up being right. So yung POP is profit probability. Kahit na 65% probability lang, I would have taken this trade eh. So, because of the risk reward, okay na sa akin yun. Okay, so the point that I'm making here is that so explain natin, di ba? Look at the following things. A winning system should not just simply be about cutting losses. A lot of people say, oh, magaling ka mag-cut. Oh, walang kwenta yun, guys. If hindi ka naman marunong mag-hold ng winner mo. Because a winning system has to consider how much are you making when you're right and how much are you losing when you're wrong. You can tell me you make 20% when you're right. But then again, pag mali ka, 5%, 50% pala kapag natatalo ka, which is times 2 your reward. If that's the case, talagang by the end of 100 trades, alam ko, you will have a net loss. Because dapat, in my case, in this system that will teach you, a winning system ko is not just about cutting losses. It's also ensuring that your winners are powerful enough to cover up your loss. So I actually take profits 100% above for my debits. If I'm going to risk $470, I'm going to have to reward myself with $470 reward minimum or more. So if I'm going to take a risk of $100, I'm going to have to receive a reward of 100, 200, 300, etc. For debit spreads yan, if I'm the one paying. Now, for the credits, naturally, the credit received gives you a high probability of payoff. Mataas yung probability that you're right. Before the game started, $10 in the money na ang Tesla Bulls. Kasi ang labanan ko is over 115. Tesla today is 125. $10 in the money na ako, guys. Okay? Kasi labanan ko 115 lang eh. I did a sell put on Tesla at 115. So, definitely, dahil lamang ako, probability-wise, dun sa odds payoff niyan, sasabihin niya, okay, I give you money, pero $150 lang. But if you're wrong, and I'm right, that Tesla goes below 115, then he wins, di ba? He wins, pero binayaran niya ako ng $1.50. So technically, I only lose money if it's 115 minus 1.5 or 113.5. So I take that risk, di ba? Okay, sabihin ko na, kasi, why did I take the risk, if you ask me? I take the risk because 70 to 80% probability that I will win. And if I lose that $350, that would only take me 30% of the time. Okay? And obviously, I can take my loss as fast as possible if I really believe that maglo-loss ako. Kasi the max loss will only happen on the date of expiry. Meaning, sample na lang. First game, let's say Tesla lamang. Tesla Bulls lamang. Let's say dumating ng second quarter. Tesla humihina. So, panalo pa ako, above 115 pa rin, pero Tesla, after 5 weeks, let's say, humihina sa 135. Okay? I can actually close already by that day because the fact na yung 125, umangat na sa 135, bumaba na kagad yung risk reward. Yung $150 na reward na nakukuha ko ngayon will become something like, yung magiging odds niyan is $75 reward for a 425 risk. Siyempre gagalaw yon. I will be able to take at least half already of credits. When I say I only take profit 60% above for credits, if I'm receiving ngayon $150, that is max reward received. So, ang 60% ng 150 is $90. Okay? So, if it's $100 for credit, 60% above means I'll receive $60. Pwede kong gawin na I receive 60. But definitely, if I'm gonna take profits at 60% above, that means that my loss should only be $120 for a $100 reward. Dapat times 2 lang. Now you're wondering, bakit willing ka to take a loss, double the risk? double the reward. Because, bakit 1:2? Kasi, 80% I win. 80 times 1, which is positive 80, minus the 20% that I lose to, minus 40. 80 minus 40 is still how much, guys? Positive 40. What this means is that if I have a very high probability win, kahit na risk ko is 2 and reward ko is 1, dahil chinuchupita ko lagi. Credits, think about it like chupitero ka. Mataas yung probability na tama ka. 80% of the time tama ka. Lamang ka dyan. Bibigay niya sa'yo, ikaw, sabi mo, over Tesla 115. And Tesla ngayon is 125. Oversold pa. Sige, I'll give you the credit. Bigyan kita $150, syempre. Pero pag mali ka, ma-black swan ka, Nikki, 25% of the time or 20% of the time, you gotta pay me double or triple, di ba? Or quadruple pa minsan. So, dito, if mali ako, how much am I gonna pay? I get 150, I pay 350, di ba? That's double my risk. But, okay lang, kasi very low probability na mananalo siya. So, as I said here, if I don't hold my profits enough to offset my potential future losses, which is 50% cap for debits and 100% cap for credits, I do not have a winning system. Pag debits, kailangan, pag debit, you risk 500, you win at least 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, di ba? So, that's why, if mali ako, since I take profit on 100%, sa 500 ko, kailangan panalo ko ng 500 or above, that means pag talo ko, dapat 250 lang. Kasi 50-50 hit ratio sa debits, guys. Now, for credits, ang maximum reward mo dyan would be 100%. Pero kinukuha ko lang dyan is 60 to 80%. Okay na ako doon. Now, why should I do that? Bakit parang sasabihin mo, ang greedy mo naman, kailangan 100% pa ma-hit para bago mo i-take profit. Imagine mo to. Kailangan 100% ma-hit on the debits bago mo i-take profit. Ito, bear put on QSR, 50% gain pa lang. QSR, 33% gain pa lang. Hindi mo pa to pwedeng i-take profit. Itong Starbucks bear spreads, 32%. Hindi pa to nagsi-60%. Hindi pa yan pwedeng kunin. McDonald's bear puts here, 27%. Hindi pa yan pwedeng kunin. The reason why hindi pa yan talaga mag-hit ng profit target, matagal pa to. McDonald's bear spread nito is February. Ito January. I need 1 month more para mag-spike up yung unrealized P&L niyan. In fact, the optimal time to take profit should be when the days to expiry is within 21 days. Dapat by then, in the money ka na, take profit ka na. A lot of people would also say that within 21 days or 3 weeks, they say na you have to use a 45-day to expiry. Eh, you'll notice ito, 60 days to. So, sa 45-day, hinihintay nila na mag 21 days or 30, or basically 3 weeks, no? They start making directional bets 6 weeks in advance. Tapos within 3 weeks, they should know if they're right or wrong. Sarado na nila yun, whether they're right or wrong. Now, ako, ang binebet ko is not just 45 days. I'm choosing 2 months or about 90 days, diba? Minsan, 60 days or 90 days ginagamit ko. How do I say 90 days? May March ba dito? Ande, dito sa snapshot, puro February. Pero minsan gumagawa ako ng mga March, guys. March and June. So, syempre matagal pa yung expiry dates nun. Hindi talaga papalo ng mga 100% yung unrealized P&L nun. And even on the loss side, hindi papalo ng 100%. Now, when let's take a look at this Tesla bull spread. I will explain this more and more. Sa February 2023, kagabi, Tesla fell down. So, kahapon, from Tesla, $135, bumagsak siya ng 125. So, nanalo yung mga bears for a day. So, kahit na panalo ko na ang strike ko 115, syempre, yung odds magbabago. Kumbaga, I receive $114. Pero ngayon, pwede ka nang makareceive ng, pag sinabing 60% difference, 114 plus 50% is $160. Makakuha ka ng $160 for a Tesla bull spread. Ngayon mga $150, $160. Nagbabago yung odds. Now, pag naging 100% loss to, technically speaking, ang ibig sabihin lang nun is I receive 114 but somebody is getting $228. Kailan ang talagang no judgment, kailangan mo na i-cut yung mistake mo kasi na stop loss ka na. Ang maximum reward, ang maximum loss nito dapat is how much? So, 5, di ba? 5 yung spread nito, minus 1.14. That means max loss ko is $3.86. So, $3, dapat ma-hit mo ang max loss nito is mga 186%. Magiging negative 386. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng pag nagkakamali ka dyan, negative 386%. Now, negative 300%. Now, hindi mo naman kailangan ipahit sa max loss. In fact, the advice is you should only take a loss of about 100%, 200% more of your credit. So kung habitually you're taking 60%, let's say in this case Tesla, if you're habitually taking 60% above on your credits, dapat 120% pa lang tinetake loss mo na. So ito, hindi pa naman siya nahihit ng stop loss ko, so hawak pa yan. Okay? Especially since pasimula pa lang naman yung eksena sa Tesla. Nagsisimula pa lang, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at more slides here. This is the reason why, no? You have to follow a system. Most people kasi, they just think, may system ako for cut loss. Marunong ako na pag nag 5% down or 10% down, cut na ako. But if you don't tell me that you have a system for profit taking, wala pa rin kwenta yun, guys. Kasi, okay, alam ko na, nagka-cut ka every 10% down, disiplinado ka. How about profits? Marunong ka ba na yung profit mo kailangan 10% above? Kasi, kung 50-50 yung hit ratio mo, 50% of the time, naluluwi ka ng 10%, edi 50 times 10, talo ka, 500. The other 50, kung panalo ka 10%, tinitake profit mo lang, edi negative 500, positive 500, zero ka lang, break even ka lang. Kung risk 1, reward 1, break even ka lang. Okay? So either dapat, kung magpa-profit take ka sa 10%, make sure mo na magka-cut loss ka sa 3 or 5%. Diba? Now, if you're gonna cut at 10%, make sure mo na yung profit-taking mode mo above 10. Pwedeng 11%, 12%, 14%, 15%. That's the only time that your system works. Eh lalo na mas worse kapag kunwari, you risk 1, reward 0.5 lang pala. Let's say, natatalo ka $100 per trade. Pag nanalo ka, $50 lang yung panalo mo. And 50-50 hit ratio mo. So obviously, if we make 50 trades, alam ko na 25 of them would lose, edi lugi ka ng 100, minus 25. Sa 25 na nanalo ka, panalo ka 50, as you said, edi positive 1 to 50. Obviously, negative 1 to 50 ka, end of the day. This is the reason why I say, watch your risk reward. Not just your risk. A lot of people look at risk, pero nagtataka sila, why are you greedy? May 100% gain ka na, hindi mo pa pinitake profit. Because it doesn't reach my profit target yet. Also, I'll show to you. To be fair, marami akong bearish spreads na mga above 100%, tinake profit ko na. Iniwan ko tong Nvidia bear spreads as an experiment. Panalo na ako nun eh. Alam kong panalo ako kasi ang put spread ko sa Nvidia, 175. Ang binayad ko is $1.50. Kasi 883 is 6 contracts eh. So para matalo ko sa Nvidia, 173.5. Kailangan, lumipad dapat yung Nvidia by December 30 above 173.5 just for me to lose money. Eh before kahapon, nasa 165 yan eh. Kailangan mag 10% up yung Nvidia para lang matalo ko. And not just 10%. It has to go up 10% within 7 days. Usapan namin to December 30 expiry. Di naman namin inusapan January or February. So the longer the time, syempre may oras pa manalo yung bulls. Bear ako. So sabi ko, 7 days left. Kumbaga parang sa shot clock mo, 7 seconds left, mananalo ka pa, makaka 10 points ka within 7 seconds. Pakitaan mo nga ako kung kaya mo manalo. Obviously, the probability is ahead in my favor. So, sabi ko, panalo naman ako dito, hintayin ko na lang kaya to until expiry. So, hinintay ko siya. Hindi ko din in-expect na Nvidia would tank all the way down. Kasi ang ginawa ko sa Nvidia bear spread, 175, 170. So, ang maximum reward ko lang talaga, guys, would be $5, correct? Diba? So, 175 minus 170 is $5. So, 5 times 6 is 3,000. Talagang hanggang 2,000 something na lang yung magiging pinaka-maximum reward ng Nvidia bear spread ko, guys. Talagang, kasi 5 minus 1.5, I paid 1.5 eh. So, 3.5 lang talaga yung maximum reward ko. Now that Nvidia has already reached 153, kahit na Nvidia falls, guys, kahit na bumagsak pa si Nvidia tonight, maging $140, makikita mo yung bear spread ko sa Nvidia. hindi na rin yan gagalaw. Yung $2,000 gain ko, hanggang 2,001, 2,200, hanggang dun na lang. Kasi na-hit na niya yung max reward ko. So pag ganyang eksena sa Nvidia, I will take profits na. So ito, for this example on Nvidia bear spread, na-hit na niya yung target profit ko, take profit na to. Hindi na to pwede maging greedy. Kahit na anong mangyari sa Nvidia, panalo na ako. Pero I would have made more money, guys, kung ginawa ko sana 175 and then 150 bear puts. Kasi kung ginawa kong 150 bear put to, I would have made, imagine mo I would only risk $1.50. I could potentially earn something like $20. Kasi 175 minus 150 eh. So imaginein mo rin, guys, when you're creating strikes, you have to dictate ano bang reward yung okay sa akin. Chances are, syempre, pag yung low put strike mo sa bear put, sobrang lalim, ang ganda nga ng reward mo, no? Pero may probability ba talaga na mangyayari yun? Kasi the lower the sell put strike, maliit lang din makukuha mong kasi buy put, sell put magiging maliit yung credit receive pag sobrang layo. So, malaki yung potential reward mo, pero malaki din yung entry fee mo. Kasi yung entry fee ko doon sa Nvidia bear spread ko, $1.50, di ba? Kung ginamit ko 175 bear put spread, tapos yung sa ilalim, yung sell put ko, if I made buy put 175, but instead of sell put 170, which is a $5 with spread, no? If ginamit ko 160 sell put, panalo pa rin yun, $15 win yun. Magandang win yun, 1:10. Sana yun yung ginawa ko. I could improve. Next time, don't worry. Pero, decent risk na dadagdagan ko, I would probably have paid, instead of $150, I might have paid something like $300. But, may compensation reward yun. Possible na maging reward ko is 1,005 per contract. Maging 1:5 or 1:6, ganun. Imbis na 1:3 lang yung risk reward. So think about it that way in terms of, magkano ba yung reward, di ba? Magkano yung risk? Magkano more payout ba? Ganon. Okay? So that's really how to evaluate your bear spreads. Hindi lang titingnan yung, ganda, 50% gain. Hindi ganon. Now ito, yung success bull spread, what is this, no? This is a bullish put wherein, kasi success is an inverse fund, guys. The more Nvidia falls, the more success goes up. So kailangan, if I'm predicting that Nvidia goes down, I'm predicting that success will go up. So ang ginawa ko dyan is 30 and 25 for February. Binayaran niya na ako ng $2,500. So, dahil success kept on rising, kagabi $40 na yon, and I have about 60 days left to win, panalo na ako. Kumbaga sa larong Ateneo and Lasal, lamang na ako. Lamang na ako, kaya gusto nang mag-quit nung kalaban ko na, Nikki, bayaran na kita ng $1,200 ngayon. Habang kasi ina-admit na ng mga odds makers na hindi pwedeng 250 per contract. Ginagawa na lang nila ngayon, if you're gonna make a success bull spread of the same caliber ng 30-25, you'll only receive 125 diba? So yun. So automatic, may panalo na ako dyan ngayon pa lang. Since I'm in the money, guys, pwede ko yan i-hold until expiry. Kasi the more I hold on to it, itong 48% gain, ang maximum reward niya syempre is 100% lang. Kasi this is a bull put spread For mga credit spreads, your maximum reward is 100%. Whereas for debit spread, your maximum reward is up to you. Pwedeng 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, depending on your setup. Okay? So if you don't understand me, just keep on listening more. You will eventually understand me. So you'll notice na all the call spreads here, bear calls, ito, tignan mo, Nvidia bear call, January, Nvidia bear call, January. So lahat to pare-parehas expiry. Now you'll notice na ito 177.5 put strike. Ito 175 put strike. Ito 180 put strike, no? So panay bear calls 'yan. Panalo ako as long as Nvidia is below 177.5, 175, 180. You'll notice na the higher the strike price is, syempre mas maliit yung payoff ko, 'di ba? So ito, naging 30% lang yung reward, ito 46% reward, ito 47%. In general, guys, dito sa mga bear calls, ang system ko is, basta maka 60% na yan, okay na ako, I'll profit take. The reason why I take profit at 60, even if malaki yung lamang ko na mag 100% move yan, is because the 100% move will only happen until expiration. May 30 days pa ako maghihintay. Ito, maghihintay pa ako ng mga 60 days. Ito, maghihintay pa ako ng 90 days. 'Di ba? So, within the next 30 days, 90 days, I can probably create a setup to make another 47%. With the kumbaga I can make another $250. So it's highly advised by backtesters na binabacktest nila lahat ng mga contracts. Within 3 weeks, if you hit your target goal, mas maganda to profit take and then make a new trade after 3 weeks. So within a month, usually makaka-turnover ka ng twice. So parang kung restaurant to, guys, 2 beses yung turnover. At least makakadalawang turnover ka in a month. So let's say habitually you make 5 trades in a simultaneous trade. Sinasabi niya na dun sa 5 trades mo, take profit mo na yung 5, tapos after 3 weeks after 2 weeks, tapos next 2 weeks gawa ka ulit ng another 5. So the more trades you make, mag-pay off naman yung system. So mas marami kang trades na magagawa. Mas ideal 'yon kaysa hintayin mo for the expiration date to happen. So ako, I know that from backtesting, pero I'll do it implement style din so that you see. Ito naman actually kasi kahit nahintayin ko pa yan until December 30, kung talagang yung max gain is $2,000, aanhin ko pa yung additional $20. Ganun lang naman yung explanation ng mga reason on whether you should hold until expiration or should you take profit on your in the money after it reaches a certain price. Okay, so eto, sample na lang, yung TJ Maxx ko na bear spread dito, January 27. Pag si TJ Maxx hindi pa rin mag-break below 79, may chance akong matalo here sa TJ Maxx. Ito yun, no? Nag-bet ako na TJ Maxx would fall below 79 by January 27, pero TJ Maxx is still trading here at 78. Ayaw pang malaglag. So, unchanged ako dyan. You'll see na may talo ako dito sa... konting talo lang yan eh. I'll show to you yung mga talo. Hindi naman lahat panalo, guys, diba? So, ito mga panalo. But even your panalo, you have to learn to wait. Ito, Berkshire Hathaway. The only way, guys, that you can make money in your system is you learn to wait. Minimum holding period for all options should be 2 to 3 weeks. Minsan, in 5 days na hit yung 100%, matetempt ka to take profit. I might have to also say na in the money ka kasi, in the options trades, ang preferential talaga is you learn to hold kasi yung 100% gains mo in 5 days could potentially hit 200%. Yung nangyari dito sa Nvidia ko na nag 200%, pwede yun mangyari dito sa mga Berkshire. Pwede to mag 200%, pwede to pwede to dumire-diretsong 200%. So, ang sinasabi talaga ng options is learn to look at the reward. The minimum reward should be yung width niyan. So, 310 minus 290 is $20. 20 times 6 is 12. So, dapat minimum na yung tinetake kong profit for Berkshire is 12 or 18. So, talagang dapat hinintay ko pa yan kahit na in the money yan. Now, let's talk about my mistakes or how do you know if you have a mistake. So, last night, I started doing bullish spreads on Square, on Cotera. Tingnan mo iba yung bear, iba yung bull. Sa Square, I started going bullish. Sa Cotera Energy, I started going bullish. Devon, Amazon, tinart ko na. Marathon Oil, I started. Occidental, okay? So may bull ako, tapos may konting bear. Bear pa rin ako sa a few Chinese names. Bear pa rin ako sa Johnson & Johnson. Bear pa rin ako dito sa Alibaba. Okay, let's explain what I did with this bullish put spread. In this Square bull spread, 55.50, ang sinasabi ko dyan, guys, is when you're making a bullish put spread, what you're really doing is, you need to determine saan ka magsasabi na over or under. So, ginawa ko, 55. Pumili ako ng strike price for Square. Ito yung Square na chart. If I'm gonna be bullish, ang tatanungin niya sa akin is, anong strike price ka confident na hindi matatouch? So, for others, baka gamitin nila 50 na strike price kasi ang recent low ng Square is 50. Ang ginawa ko is 55 pero February 2023. So ang ginawa ko dyan sa Square, specific example was, I'm bullish here at about above 55 and tell me how much credit you'll give me. So with that Square with that Square, how do you know this? So punta ka lang dito sa Webull or sa IBKR mo. So punta ka sa Square, anong gusto mong expiry date? Usapang 0 day, 7 day, 14 day. So in general, I'll teach you that the best sweet spot is somewhere in the 40 to 60 day, no? Nandito 'yan. So pinipili ko yung if masyado nang dikit, dito ako sa 60 days. So choose the Feb. This is Square. I'm bullish on Square, so ang ginagawa ko dyan is I sell the put, I receive this $3.85, and then I take a buy put to ensure na what if mali ako? What if Square goes all the way down below 55? I need to protect myself. I need to define my risk. So I usually take a $5 spread on the way down. So if I'm selling puts at 55, I'll buy a 50 put. Or pwede ko rin gawin dyan, sell 50, buy 45. So if you'll notice, yung sell 50 by 45, the credit spread that I'm receiving is $1. Itong 55 and 50, the credit received is 1.44 cents. So it's 44% higher if I'm willing to, it's 44% higher credit spread if I am willing to make my sell put at 55, di ba? Kasi syempre, it's a closer strike price rather than 50 eh. So I chose the Square strike price na 55. Okay, so let me show to you what exactly was the trade, no? Ganito yan. So, yeah, you can make it in IBKR, nasarado na eh, na-log out na. Di bale, sana i-show ko how to do it eh. But basically, it's it's essentially sell 55 put and buy 50 put. I received $1.41 when I made this trade. Right now, pag sinabing down 9%, it means lang na somebody is willing to pay $1.54, di ba? Around 10% yan eh, so plus 14 cents. So talo ko mga $14 according to Webull, no, yung sa platform. Sinasabi niya rito down na $25, pero parang kasi nagbabago-bago yan eh. Pero yeah, so down na $12 each contract. Dalawang contract yan, kaya $25. Times 2 niyan. Hindi nyo lang nakita yung contract size, pero may dalawang contracts yan. So you'll notice na magkano ba talaga yung max risk ko dyan? If I'm receiving $140, I'm really receiving I'm really risking $359. How did I know na $359 yung risk ko? Per contract yan ha. So if 2 contracts yan, 359 times 2. So $700 max loss yan. There's several ways to know the loss. Meron yan si IBKR, naka-compute na yung max loss, max return, profit probability. Pero I always teach people na even if technology tells you how to calculate, how to do it, even if your Excel tells you how to do net present value, a decent person needs to know how to do it himself manually. So it's very simple lang naman to know your max loss. How much is the width of the spread? Diba? $5. How much did I receive? $1.41. So definitely, your max risk is $359, the difference. Diba? So parang ito, bear spread ng BABA. Maximum risk, 85 minus 80, $5. I paid 2.25, di ba? Sorry, maximum reward is $5 on this bear put. But I paid 2.25 eh. So maximum reward ko talaga is 5 minus 2.25 or 2.75. So yan, you'll notice na lahat yan, within yan sa, lahat yan, pag sinabing unrealized P&L is 5, 10, 20%, wala yan. Hindi yan nag-hit ng stop loss. Ang stop loss ko sa mga bull spreads, pag bull spread is credit. So makikita mo eh, easy yan. Pag credit strategy, your percentage net liquidation is negative something. Kasi you're getting paid eh. Kaya yung average price mo is negative 1.41. You didn't pay $1.41. You got paid. Somebody paid you, di ba? So collect income kanyan eh. I collected $141 here. I collected $109 here. I collected $144 here. I collected $79 here. Whereas, pag sinabing debit paid, I paid $225. So talaga, percent net liquidation, nagiging positive 0.15%. This is percent of my portfolio. So ibig sabihin, $225 represents 0.15% of my portfolio. So in terms of maximizing your risk and minimizing your risk and maximizing your reward, the perfect solution here is around yung simultaneous. Dapat ang maximum risk mo on your total account would be 5% to as much as 10%. So meaning if this is a $100,000 account or $200,000 account, maximum risk is, well, kung $200,000 account, maximum risk is 10 to 20K. So you'll notice na super super low risk yung ginagawa kong strategy, no? Kasi tigpa $500 lang yan eh. Plus, if this is positive, syempre, I wouldn't consider this as part of my risk. Ang part of my risk lang is tong open positions na loss pa. Okay? Kasi ito, at most, kung matalo man ako, ang risk ko lang dyan is lower upside. 'Di ba? Hindi naman yan matatalo eh. Kung baga 100% gain, kung mali ako, maging 70% gain. Ganun lang. Whereas ito, may potential loss to, 'di ba? So dito ako nagka-calculate ng loss, yung mga red ko. So you have to realize the real edge and secret of options is number one, super little buying power, as I said. Just to implement a view, you can just use $100, $500. You can go long or short Amazon or Tesla. Kumbaga, if this was a Ateneo Lasal game, makakabet ka na Ateneo, makakabet ka na Lasal. Argentina or France game, you could have made a bet on Argentina and you do not need thousands of dollars. If you're willing to lose $100 or $500, okay na yon. Or kung gusto mo, kabaliktaran. I pay you $150 if you win in Argentina, but you pay me $350 if France wins. Kasi depende kung sining lamang before the game starts. And then of course, when the game starts, nagpapalit-palit yung odds na yun. So why are debit spreads better? Debit is, I'm paying for it. As I said, lower initial outlay. When I say better, better than owning or shorting stocks. Debit spreads are really, really better rather than buying stocks outright or selling stocks outright. Bakit? If I have to buy 100 shares of Tesla, I would spend about, magkano ngayon? Nasa $125. I would have to spend 100 shares or $12,500. Whereas, making a Tesla bullish put spread, I could just lose $350 and win $150. So gets mo, low risk, lower outlay, better for small accounts. Irrespective of the expiration or the stock's price, the spread will cost the same. What it means is that if Tesla spreads, di ba, sinabi natin, I could bet 115, 110, Tesla sell put 115, buy put 110, or I could make, sabi natin, sell Tesla put $100 and then buy put 95. In terms of spread, parehas lang yung risk ko lagi. Kasi 5 minus, depende na lang how much is my credit. So let's say my credit will be, syempre dahil 100 versus 115, mas maliit na yung credit nun, di ba? Baka bayaran na ako $75. Pero 90% hit ratio yun. Kasi ang layo ng in the money ko eh. Yung isa, 115 versus 125. Yung gagawin mong Tesla put, let's say 100. E di $25 lamang ka na. Because you are lamang ahead by 25 points, yung debit credit mo, it won't be 150, 350. What they'll give you is something like 75, you win 75 but you will risk 425. The reason why it's like that is because syempre alam ng tao na ano yung probability na Tesla will fall 25% within just 30 days. 'Di ba? So lalo na kapag ginawa mo 7 days expiry, mas lalong skewed na baka reward mo $10, risk mo 490. Ganun nangyayari. Kasi also what's nice about credit spreads, debit spreads. Well, with debit spread, you have no exposure to the option demons. Theta, implied volatility, delta that call buyers are exposed to. Kasi if you buy a stock, di ba, ang risk mo is, number one, ang laki ng capital. But if you buy a stock, every percentage drop, kuha mo yung lahat ng loss. But with debit spread, di ba ginawa natin? Sell put, buy put. O kaya, buy put, sell put. Palagi siyang nagko-contra each other. You will have a defined risk. Pag sinabi natin, risk mo is $350, automatically, I already know how much you're risking at, no? So, that for debit spreads, that means that for McDonald's, I bought 275 puts. If I paid $4.70, I know how much I will, if I made my McDo 275, 250 puts, I already know na my cost is 4.7, my maximum risk is 4.7, no matter what. So that's really one of the best reasons why. And to show to you how effective, when I say, hindi niya nagagamit yung very low outlay, very low risk, hindi niya natatouch yung buying power ko. You see all these positions, no? Parang ang dami-dami. Pero do you know that even if I have 3 to 4 pages worth of options, tingnan mo, ilan to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 3, 36. I have about, sabi natin, 40 open positions. My 40 open positions are only using 5 to 10% of my buying power. That means all the rest of my cash is just cash. 90% cash yan. So options are carrying low drawdowns, lower defined risk, and lower margin for the same rewards. So it really is remaining the best to manage risk. So in a $160,000 account, I was just using parang like $5,000 risk. So ang dami kong buying power na nakatabi lang. Kasi si IBKR, pag meron kang $100,000 na cash, bibigyan ka niya ng margin power of 300K. Mga times 3 yung binibigyan ng leverage eh. Pero hindi mo kailangan gamitin lahat ng buying power na yun. Okay, so sinasabi ko lang na hindi ko nga ginagamit yung buying power ko, which means na sa cash ko, they'll even pay me. Because right now, the Fed fund interest rate is the Fed funds rate is about more than 4 point something percent. But of course, IBK has to make money. They pay you 3.8 on idle cash balance. So, ang ganda nun. I'll give you some example, no? Devon bullish spread. The Devon bullish spread. So ito yung chart ng Devon. This is an energy name. We talked a lot at length how bullish I am with energy. So I won't go discuss fundamentals with you. I'll tell you why Devon bullish spread. Why did I do this credit spread? I made a 55-50 bull put. Same with the square, no? Ginawa ko rin 55-50 bull put. Same with 60-day expiry because there's a high chance that Devon will go up. In fact, profit probability ko is 73%. Even Amazon bull put spread, profit probability 65%. Ginawa ko over under. Ang bet ko is Devon will be above 55 within the next 60 days. Plus 5 ako ngayon eh kasi in the money ako, 'di ba? Kasi 60 ngayon si Devon eh. So if Devon goes 65 and 70, sigurado yung unrealized PNL niyan from 109 magiging 50% gain yan. Magiging $50 gain per contract. One contract lang yan. Ito naman, $144. As long as Amazon stays above $80, panalo ako. Now you'll notice, ano tong 50, ano tong lower strike? What this means is that above 55, I win. Pero pag nag-below 50 yan, cut loss mo na ako kagad. Ito, Amazon above 80, I win. Pag nag-below 75 yan, cut loss mo na ako kagad. This is the reason why meron kang lower end. 55.50, 80.75, you can see that nakakat ako ng $5 below. So if I receive 100, $4, takot na ako, take the loss. Alam ko ng $400 max loss tong Devon. Alam ko na $356 max loss tong Amazon. So ito yung mga chart niyan. Devon looks bullish, kaya I'm willing to bet na 55 is gonna hold. Ang bet ko dyan, for the next 60 days, above 55 si Devon. Gets nyo? Ang options, guys, parang over-under lang yan ng basketball. And the more that the days go by, parang the days are equal to the seconds of the basketball quarter. Ganun lang siya. Ganun talaga yung way to make it work. May nakasulat dito, "Hi, ma'am. It seems I can only make single options in Webull. If we buy or sell or buy separately, it will also have the same effect as a bare bull credit debit spread." I already asked this with Webull. Unfortunately for Webull, they don't give multi-leg options. Yun yung reason kaya hindi ko magamit yung Webull. Sabi nila sa akin, for Asians like us, Southeast Asians tayo, we can only use the single options. Kaya hindi ko advise to use the Webull on options. Gamitin yung IBKR. In USA, Webull USA supports multi-leg. They told me na they will make the multi-leg option available to Southeast Asians baka starting next year. So unfortunately, if you are gonna do this credit spread that I'm teaching you, hindi ko siya ma-implement sa Webull. So hindi siya available sa Webull, hindi siya available sa eToro. You can only do this in IBKR. 'Di ba? Sa eToro naman, di naman siya nagbabayad siya ng $150 para mag-bet ng over-under for Tesla, 'di ba? Nagbe-bet ba tayo ng over-under kay Tesla? Nagbe-bet ba ako sa IBKR na, bet ko over Amazon yan. Above 80 si Amazon for the next 50 days. So, you can only do that betting spreads. So, ang tinatawag sa ginagawa natin, guys, is betting spreads. They're called vertical spreads. Yun yung term ng mga options players, but basically it's vertical spreads. Yeah, you can only do these spreads today in IBKR. So for those who don't have IBKR accounts, I opened my referral link. Don't worry, cheap lang than IBKR. $2,000 is enough. In fact, it is highly recommended that if you're gonna do these options credit trades, debit or credit, $5 is enough. Hindi mo kailangan, guys, to open $5,000, $10,000. The strategies I'm telling you guys, 2.5 is enough. But of course, if you want to open 10K, it's up to you. Pero yun, you can open with just 2.5. Kaya naman. Wala namang problema sa IBKR with that. My referral link is in the thumbnails here. So our high probability longs are energy plays. So you'll notice na itong mga Chevron, ang ginagawa ko dyan is bullish put spread. I can bet Chevron, sell 160 put, buy 150 put. No? So $10 maximum risk plus how much received credit. Let's say they give me $2 credit. So magiging 200 risk, 200 return, 800 risk. And the reason why it's meant to be kasi upper trend yan. Upper trend kasi yung mga Chevron. So talagang the odds is magbo-bullish put spread ka dyan. Now, explain iron condors like M5. Shocks, gusto ko sana explain pa to. Iron condor is so nice din kasi actually ito, in-explain ko na rin sa Twitter pero I'll just do it fast mode sa inyo even if it's 1 hour, 20 minutes already. Last slide, no? Sa iron condor slides ko na to, it's very simple. You're combining a put credit spread and a call credit spread. Dito, pwede mong gawin over-under. So, kunwari, ito Tesla, over, or let's say S&P 500 na lang. Ang iron condor is, pwede mo i-bet over 365 pero under 400. Pag alam mo na nasa gitna siya, they'll pay you. So, ganun lang yon. So, you can make money even when the stock price is just within a range. Kunwari, pwede kong i-bet Alibaba below 100 but above 60. Pwede ganun. Iron condor Alibaba, gagawin mo lang yun. So, you're just really combine. So, the directional assumption is neutral. You want to do this if there is high probability, high volatility, 'di ba? Kasi pag high volatility, malaki yung ibabayad niya dito and dito. Kasi pag high volatility, isipin ng tao na, ay, Tesla can go below 100 and it can go above 150, 'di ba? Whereas, pag hindi naman gumagalaw, kunwari like McDonald's, ano yung credit spreads ng McDo? Sobrang liit. Kaya yung McDo, never ako nag-credit spread kasi walang volatility. Hello, yung debit spread nga niya, 1.77% lang, di ba? So, super liit ng yields na makukuha mo o na McDo, na pag McDo, you have to do, since McDo is a low volatility stock, ang best thing to do on McDonald's or Berkshire Hathaway is debit spread. Ngayon, kapag mga Tesla, pwede mo gawan yan credit spread. Kasi high volatility ang Tesla eh. Ang SPY and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq, high volatility yan. Ang Nvidia, high volatility yan. Ang Starbucks, high volatility yan. So, how do you know if it's high volatility? Ang meaning lang naman ng high volatility is magalaw siya. Parang if the stock market goes down 1%, Tesla can fall 10%. Ganun yun, di ba? If the stock price if the index tonight goes up 1% and then Tesla goes up 10%, ibig sabihin nun, high beta siya, high IV siya. So, yun. As I said, how to calculate your iron condor break-even price. Kung magkano yung sell call mo sa upside, kunwari, Alibaba, you think na hindi siya lilipad above 100, yung sell call mo sa Alibaba is 100. Let's say, ang downside risk mo sa Alibaba, naisip mo 60 lang. So, sell call 100, sell put 60. Makakakuha ka ng credit received dyan, di ba, on both sides. So, that's really how to, so, syempre, pag dito, Alibaba, usually gagawin ko dyan, sell 100 call, buy 105 call. Dito naman, sell 60 puts, buy 55 puts. Tapos may makuha kang credit dyan, on both sides. So, let's give you an example, no? This is a Tesla chart, the inverse of Tesla chart. You can see it's already hitting max, nagpa-parabolic na yung mga inverse nila. So, if nagpa-parabolic yung inverse ng Tesla, it means that Tesla bottom is approaching near capitulation. So, we're seeing na, okay, dito sa 115 or 100 area, malapit na yan mag-bottom out. So, also, you can see that dati, si Tesla ahead yan of Nasdaq. If Nasdaq was falling 33%, Tesla would just be down 25%. However, this October, Tesla fell 50%, even if Nasdaq only fell 1%. That's why we think na oversold na si Tesla. It may not go up, but it will not fall another 10 to 20%. That's why nagbe-bet ako na over 115, di ba? Yun yung bet ko. So the underperformance, sinasabi nga nila, is clearly endogenous, meaning internally done because of the weak 3Q volumes, largely due to China, may Twitter purchase on October 27, and then Elon Musk was selling Tesla sales. Now, out of these three bearish conditions, the last condition here, which is Tesla selling $7.5 billion, is no longer true. Tesla said na after their insider selling, tapos na rin siya. Tapos na siya mag-sell. So actually, I'm not buying it because of fundamentals. Kasi I don't know if 30 times PE is cheap. So ako, I do not buy a stock because it's cheap. I buy a stock or make a bullish put spread because it meets my conditions. When I say na there's high yield spreads, I'm collecting $150 for a risk of 350. Sell credit strats yun. Malaki talaga yung yields nun kasi I'm just waiting 30 days, no? So this is why of course, there's also the bullish sentiment of Elon not selling further, plus multiple supports at 115. So this is an example of Tesla bull spread. Syempre, kagabi, stinart ko na yan. Nung Tesla was 135, bumagsak pa ng 125. So I received already 1,200, I received 1,290. Kaya ka may nakikita na $500 loss kasi there were a lot of people who's willing to pay naman $1.80 per contract. Kumbaga, kinuha ko lang 1.29 per contract yan eh, one contract. Ginawa ko 10 contracts, so I will receive 1,290. Dito naman, I will receive $900 na lugi ako ng $640 kasi this is January and this is February. So mabilis ka mag-lose if ever on a drawdown scale. Pero imagine this, guys. This is still an effective risk management reward. Do you know what 10 contracts mean, guys? 10 contracts means 1,000 shares. Kasi per contract is 100 shares eh. Imagine mo, may bullish play ako sa Tesla ng 2,000, 1,000 and 1,000, 2,000 shares to, guys. Ang tinalo ko lang is nasa $1 na drawdown. When in fact, 135 minus 127 is $8. $8 times 2,000 share is how much? $16,000. Kung ginawa ko to sa stock share per se, drawdown ko pa lang within a day 16,000. Whereas pag options, tingnan mo naman, nasa $1,200 loss lang. So, syempre, pag nag-reward, kung kala mo $16,000 reward sa stocks, eto, actually, pag nag-reward to, ang reward ko ito lang din, $2,000. Ito, 1, 2, tsaka 900, 2, 1. But the point here, guys, is that mataas yung probability kasi that I'm right. So, kaya ko kinuha itong trade na to. Of course, si Elon Musk, sinabi nga niya that stocks are not the place to be because you can earn money in cash. And sinasabi niya na more like si Elon Musk, sinasabi lang niya yung something na alam naman na natin ever since. We like the sell-off because obviously those in cash wins, diba? And then if you short the stocks na hindi naman oversold, yung mga overbought, marami ka pang kikitain. Now, ito yung mga explain lang na he doesn't want to sell any stocks, blah, blah, blah. For the next 2 months, for the next 2 years, sabi niya 18 to 24 months. We'll see, because that would probably make the Tesla stock go up. In fact, after that comment, umangat na yung Tesla from 125 naging 128 na eh. Pre-markets umaangat din eh. Now, si Amazon, this is interesting because it's also oversold. I'm looking at 80 pero pwede rin 70 yan. So I could be wrong with my 80 yung ginawa ko eh, over 80 yung bet ko eh. Pero baka dapat ginawa ko over 70 na lang. Anyway, yun. So credit spreads, learn about this. Credit spreads are the best when you have a high IV environment. When the volatility is high, you can make a credit spread, risk is defined. Yan yung Tesla na ginawa natin. The Tesla bull put is a credit spread kasi I sold the puts or I sold the calls. The setup is you either sell the calls when the market assumption is bearish or you sell the puts when the market assumption is bullish. Ang assumption ko kasi for Tesla is bullish. So I sold the puts. No? So yun, risk is defined, max profit is the credit I receive, max loss is the width. So example, if I sell 115 put and then I buy 110 put, maximum loss ko is 115 minus 110, which is the $5, diba? So max loss is 500 minus the credit received. If I receive 150, 500 minus 150, 350 lang talaga yung max loss ng credit spread na yon. So in general, my strategy is also check mo if the credits on the 150 to 180 day are above 20% yield just to check if it's really volatile. Kasi kung 20% yield yung binibigay as a cushion on the 6-month expiry spread on an at the money or nearly at the money or out of the money put, pag sinabi mo 40 to 50 delta, 40% chance that it will be in the money. Pag sinabi mo 50 delta, it's at the money. Kung $125 yung Tesla, 125 yung at the money, which is the 50 delta puts. 50 delta calls or 50 delta puts. You want to sell credit strategy kapag high yield talaga or high environment, no? High IV. So ako, strategy ko dapat above 20. Tesla passed that test, Amazon passed that test, which is the reason why I'm selling credit strategy. Now, if risk is less than 3, but reward is 1, with an 80% probability, take the credit received. It's very simple, no? Kasi even if you're winning only 80, even if you're only earning 1, pero 80% of the time, panalo ka. Take a look. 80 times 1 is 80. As long as mag-take loss ka on a 2, 20% times 2 minus yon. So 80 minus 40 is 40. Panalo ka pa rin. Okay? In fact, kahit na 3, 80 minus 60 equals 20 positive pa rin. So, as long as the risk is less than 3, but reward is 1, but 80% probability chance of you being right, take the credit received. So basically, what we're trying to do here is trade high probability systems. The reason why other people lose money in the stock market is hindi sila nagsisystemize. Kumbaga, okay, let's take this risk reward. They don't even ask, magkano ba talaga reward? Magkano ba talaga risk? Kasi okay lang naman for you to risk $1,000 if the reward is $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 with a 50-50 hit ratio. Kahit na 50% of the time ka lang maging tama, kung panalo ka naman ng $5,000 every time tama ka, guys, positive expectation system yun. Keep on trading that way and you will become very rich someday. In fact, this system is being employed by some people and know na nila, and I'm gonna show to you hopefully within the next couple of months na, actually so far, within about 3 weeks, yung $5,000 risk ko, kumita na ng $10,000. So some of the binge video trades that I've done, that I've made, I've been binging and self-studying options. Multiple times na ginawa ng iba, $2,500 na pa $25,000 nila yan within a year with the same system. Sell credit strategy, buy debit strategy na defined risk, defined reward. Nishant Pant, if you want to watch him, he's a very good inspiration. Tasty Trade, a lot of videos, I watched that. So, lahat ng tinuturo ko sa inyo, may kita mo rin naman yan sa internet. Tinatagalog version ko lang with my understanding. Yeah, so ito, hindi pa yan nahihit ng stop loss. Talagang hintayin mo yan. Matagal pa yung expiries niyan, guys. So, do not panic. Tsaka, this is why I like this so much. Notice mo sa Square, 100 shares, down 1% kagabi ang Square. If I held 100 shares of Square, do you know how much drawdown I would have made? Ito yung Square, down $1.99. Okay? So, Square went down $1.99. $2 siya down, 3%. If hawak ko 100 shares niyan, 100 times $2, $200 yung loss ko dapat. Pero, guys, dito sa options ko, instead of $200 loss, drawdown ko $25 lang. Imagine mo yun, guys. Yun yung advantage ng options na hindi naiintindihan ng mga tao. Either Tagalogin ko yan or Englishin ko pa yan. Kailangan yun maintindihan that options is a lower risk versus owning the shares. Mas mabilis mag-cut loss if ever mali ka man. Tapos, even if mag-cut loss ka man, defined yung loss. Kumbaga, alam ko na, kapag mali yung Square ko, $350 loss. Okay, makakatulog ako mabuti. Kahit na mag-down siya ng malaki, kung bull spread ako, or kahit na nagbe-bet ako ng bearish, tapos umangat ng up-up yun, if alam kong max loss ko $300, guys, $300 loss lang. That's how beautiful options are. Na hindi kaya gawin ng mga shares. Shares kasi, kahit na mag-stop loss ka pa dyan, pag nag-gap up, isa stop out ka niya dun sa taas. Nag-gap up na eh. Unlike gap up or gap down. Unlike sa options, kahit na mag 300% up pa yun, kung talagang $300 yung loss determination, hanggang dun lang. Hindi ka talaga mag-lose more than that. That's why I like options talaga. I know it's 1.5 hours already. As I said, manage your risk by only checking yung mga talagang loss. Pag ganyan, unrealized P&L, kahit na nag-fluctuate yung daily P&L mo, huwag mo nang pansinin yan. Titingnan mo yung unrealized P&L. Pag panalo yan, hawak lang. Kunwari ito, SPY bear spread. Some people said, Nikki, nag-bull spread ka, pero marami ka pang bear spread. Natural, kasi March pa yung expiry nito eh. Above 405, below 405 yung bet ko eh. Eh yung SPY bear spread, ngayon nga, SPY 380 eh. Paano ako matatalo dito? Alam ko talaga, probability of profit mataas. Makukuha ko itong buong $600. There will come a time, pag near March na, itong $164 na gain na to, magiging $550 gain to. The only time that I will take profit is if mga nasa 80 to 90% of my total credit received, yung talagang nakuha ko na. Okay? Mga bear spread to eh, credit receives to eh. Oh. Credit, credit, credit receive. Okay? Ito, bear spread, credit receive na naman. And ito, I paid debit to, bear put. Pag bear call, credit receive ko yan. Like ito, Alibaba, credit receive to. Itong SPY Iron Condor, credit receive to. SPY bear spread, credit receive din to. Ito, Square Bull spread, credit received. Diba? Kotera Bull spread, credit received. Ito, panay mga credit received. Ang talagang ima-manage loss ko lang dito sa lahat ng ginawa kong trades, itong mga Tesla Bull spread, Eto, Tesla bull spread na 'to, kailangan 'to i-manage. Kasi sa January, ang binet ko dito over 120. Pag si Tesla, pag below 120, talo 'to. So, kailangan ko 'to i-manage kaagad. Itong Sun Life, okay lang yan kasi February pa eh. In general, guys, ang risk mo is you manage a trade. Ayan na, last slide ko na yan. You manage a trade if you only have less than 21 days. That's really the back-tested approach. Pag 60 days left pa yan, guys, ang dami mong panahon to be right. Kung hinihintay mo na yung S&P 500 bumagsak, or kung hinihintay mo yung Tesla umangat above 115, if you're telling me 60 days left to expiry, ang tagal, you will win with your spreads as long as in the money ka. Or kahit na at the money ka, marami ka pa rin chance. So, when will you lose money? Number one, we define the loss, no? Ang maganda dito, pag nag-options ka, alam mo na yung loss. You define your loss kapag pag bearish put, kailan ka matatalo? When will you lose pag bear put? If it's above your strike price of your bear put. So let's say, nag-short ako ng McDo or nag-short ako ng S&P 500. Pag ginamit ko 4,050 for S&P 500, yun yung determinant kung talo ako. Hindi porket 383 yung SPY umangat ng 390 ay talo na si Nikki. Hindi. Ang usapan natin is 405 eh. 4,050 usapan eh. 405 yung bear puts ko sa SPY. In the money ako. Para matalo ako, kailangan umangat yung S&P 500 ng 10% para lang matalo ako. Which is, kitang-kita sa probability, 70% I win. 30% I don't win. Pag nandun sa usapang ganun, it makes sense for you to hold until 21 day to expiry. So what does that mean? Kung ginamit mo 60 days to expiry, how many days do you have to wait para mag-take profit? 60 minus 21 is 39 days. So maghihintay ka pa ng 1 month and 9 days to collect your profit. Some people say na dapat kasi, Nikki, pag nagbe-bear put ka, 45 days yung sweet spot. Para within 21 days or 3 weeks, 45 minus 21 is 24 days. Nandun, malapit na yung 24 days. Kasi guys, pag 21 days to expiry left, kumbaga, parang last 3 minutes na lang yan sa basketball. Wala nang paraan para manalo yung kalaban. Ano yun? Magmi-miracle shot siya? Magkakaroon ng mga hat-trick si Kylian Mbappe para matalo yung Argentina? Kumbaga, ganun yung labanan. Usually, pag 21 days left to expiry, most traders, they take profits, they lock their gains, or if they have a loss, they lock their loss. Kasi last 3 minutes, kung ano yung winner 3 weeks before, next 3 weeks yun pa rin. Not unless in the next 3 weeks, may earnings pala, may CPI data pala, may Fed event pala. Gets mo, kung within the next 3 weeks, wala naman mangyayari sa market, wala namang earnings, what would make the stock go up 10% within the next week? That's the reason why most people, they close positions within, before 21 day. They manage the position, whether win or loss. Okay? So, I hope that you learned. It's 1.5 hour. It's really, really a good topic. Please follow me on Faceless Trader on Twitter. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, credit spreads, debit spreads, iron condor, number one, it's really best for beginners because most people, when they start options, they always say, bakit advanced? Ang hirap naman, iron condor kagad. The truth of the matter is, iron condors and selling credit strats, spreads, define yung risk. That's the reason why it's meant for beginners. Whereas covered calls and cash secured puts na laging sinasabi na ito yung una mong aralin pag beginner ka. Mali po yun. I paid a hefty price on a sell cash secured put na naked. Because if you're wrong there, unlimited yung risk mo. Mare-receive mo lang na credit, $200. Pag mali ka, pwede ka matalong $1,000, $2,000. Not worth it. Pangit yung cash secured puts. Mas maganda kung bullish ka naman, mag-bullish put spread ka na lang. Huwag ka mag-sell put lang. May sell put ka, pero may buy put ka. Sample, ako, Tesla, I'm trying to be bullish. sell 115 put, pero buy Tesla 110 put. To make sure na if Tesla breaks 110, okay na ako, naka-cut loss na ako, tapos na ako. Kahit mag $95 pa yung Tesla tomorrow, wala akong matatalo dyan. Kung $350 loss lang, $350 loss lang. Hindi mag-exceed. That's the beauty of a combo. Hindi siya single leg. It's always combo. May sell put, buy put. May sell call, buy call. Yun. Hindi siya applicable ngayon sa Webull. Yung platform nila ngayon for Southeast Asians, puro single options lang na leg, single leg. So in case man nagagawin mo yung mga single leg options sa Webull, I think that you can only do the buy debit spreads strategy. And in the buy debit strategy, which is max risk yung yung ginawa ko sa McDonald's puts, pwede mong gawin yung mga S&P 500 puts. Basically, ang pwede mong gawin sa Webull is magbabay ka lang ng debit spread. Yun nga lang, let's say ang debit spread ko sa McDo bear put ko, 'di ba, 4.7. Pag ginawa mo yan sa'yo, you would have to pay something like $6 kasi wala kang sell put to offset eh. Ang nagagawa kasi ng bear put, pag kinombo mo yon, buy put, sell put, defined yung risk, defined rin yung reward. Unlike yung, kunwari, pag nag-McDonald's naked put ka, defined yung risk, di ba? If you paid $300 or $200, yun lang yung risk mo. Max risk mo, $200. Pag tama ka, reward mo is infinity. Although realistically naman, if you think about it, McDo is not gonna fall naman talaga to zero, di ba? Hindi naman 250, 270 goes zero. Technically, if tama ka, 270 goes zero, di $27,000 win yung $200 risk mo. Hindi naman talaga totoo yun. Kasi within a certain time span, what do you think is the realistic way for a stock to go down? Maybe 10%, 20%, di ba? Based on the volatility of its historical last 12 months. So there's what you call historical volatility. So yun, that should be considered when you are making your bear puts or bull calls. Yun. Okay, the more we talk, the more we talk, the more we implement, the more you learn. I don't expect you to listen to this class and then everything that I know, alam mo na, you can make 100%, 200% reward on your risk. But I would suggest, guys, you can open an IBKR, simulate the trades, make a simulation account. I did try some of my setups with a simulator account. And of course, eventually I used real money. If you're going to use real money, make sure that your account is just $2,500 because I assure you, when you're a beginner, you will blow up your account. If you have $2,000, baka malugi ka ng $1,000, mabuang ka pa. Sabihin mo pa, si Nikki nagpabukas na $2,000 na simulation account. Kung live money, $2,000, pag simulation account, up to you. Pero I would expect na pag nag-simulate ka, kahit nabigyan ka ng $1 million na paper money dyan, wag mo naman, alam mo yun, hindi naman siya realistic. So, still trade the right way na kung one contract lang. Wag ka mag-overblow na 200 contracts, di ba? It doesn't make sense just because you have a $1 million paper account. Yun. I hope you learned something. And sometimes people learn through other people's experiences. People learn through other people's losses. I myself learned the hard way. But I hope that you don't need to lose money just to learn. But if you need, as a beginner, I tell you to study credit spreads and debit spreads. That's really how you can make consistent money. Yung mga naked puts na yan, naked puts, buy put, sell put lalo, nako, malaking loss yan if ever magkamali ka. At least sa buy put, pag mali ka, kung $500 loss lang, $500 loss. Pag nagkamali ka sa sell puts, patay kang bata ka. Lahat ng tao na nag-sell put sa 150 ng Tesla kunwari, ngayon Tesla 125, open loss na yan ng $25 per contract. So kung 100 shares yun, lugi na sila ng $2,500. Can you imagine that? Diba? So ako, ayoko mag-sell puts. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Naked, do not do that. Sell call, naked, do not do that. Kahit sabihin mo na, bear market naman mag-sell naked calls na lang tayo. Hindi. Kahit na sabihin pa natin that S&P 500, halos mabuang na tayo na hindi naman magpa 5,000 or 4,500 yan. If you sell calls on that, kahit na alam kong very low probability yun, wala ka naman din makukuha ang yield eh. Plus, even if you do that, why do you have to take the unnecessary risk? For what? Pwede mo naman kasi gawin, sell for 05 call, buy for 10 call. You cap your risk, di ba? $5 yung spread. Cap your risk, receive $1, $2, para at least, okay lang. Hindi ka natatakot na paano kung bigla na lang may ginawa yung USA. Natutulog ka, tapos may nangyari. Sabihin na lang natin, nag-gap up yung stock. Huwag na lang yung S&P. Nike, recently nag-earnings gap up. May bear spread ako. Puti ka mo, meron akong bear spread. May cap loss yun. Di ba? I just lost $100. If that was a stock, I would have lost $1,000. So grabe, ang ganda. Gap up si Nike 15%. Before the earnings, I was ahead 7%. In the money ako, 7%. I was selling Nike at 110. Ito yung stock na yun. Let me show to you example. This is Nike. Tell you how powerful. Ito, I shorted Nike at 110. 103, panalo na ako. Earnings date, kumaboom, nag 115. On that day, talo ko $100. Of course, I lost the profit I made here, which is $300. So, from $300 gain, from $270 gain, naging 100 loss. So, I had a swing of 370. Pero if that was a stock, I would have had a swing of $3,700. So, sobrang effective talaga ng options, both in terms of risk management, lower capital outlay, and so on. Guys, it's 7 p.m. I talked a lot. Sorry for taking all your time. I really wish you all a Merry Christmas. 2023 is going to be a tough year, I think, but we're going to have to be tougher. You really have to learn. If you want to just be in cash, go ahead. Because cash pays, as I said, interactive brokers, but you have to have a minimum of $10,000 pala. In interactive brokers, if you have minimum of $10,000 in idle cash balance, you get 3.8% a year. So, ipasok mo lang, $10,000, patulugin mo dun. Mag-simulate ka ng options. Tinuturuan ka ni Nikki. Explain options like M5. Mag-explain siya. Gumagawa siya ng Tesla bull put. Kopyahin nga natin. Sabi niya, mag-sell ng 115 Tesla put, tapos buy 110 Tesla put. Tingnan natin, ganun. Gawa tayo ng SPY Iron Condor, sell 365 put, buy 360 put, sell 400 put, sell 405 call, then buy 410 call. You'll only learn if you actually execute. Parang sa magluluto. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to cut yung mga vegetables. So, sobrang beginner kasi hindi ako nagluluto hindi ako domesticated. Over time, when I got married, I had to learn these things. So, syempre, ganun, nakakahiya, pero I have to do beginner stuff. Ganun din naman sa options. You have to do start beginning. You start beginner. Tapos, I think it took me more than 1.5 years, to be fair, to get to the level that I now know about lahat ng pitfalls. Hindi na ako kumbaga, nung una, natitempa ako na, ang ganda ng yield nito. Now, I say, wag na. Ang pangit ng risk-reward niyan. To earn $100, I would have to risk $500, $800. No way. Kahit na super taas pa ng probability niyan. Unless sobrang high conviction ka talaga na. Kumbaga, parang ganito lang yan Kunwari, Ateneo Lasal game. Last 3 minutes. Panalo na nga yung Ateneo. UP na lang. UP Ateneo. Yun nga sabi namin. Na-injure na yung star player ng UP. Ang pangit na talaga ng risk-reward na manaling UP Maroons. So talagang the leaders would be the Ateneo will win. So kung nag-bet ka, nung nagkaroon na ng injury si Lucero, sure ball na yung risk mo from risk 5 to win 1, magiging risk 20 to win 1. Pero kung alam mo naman na hindi naman ako magre-risk 20 Win 1 naman talaga 95% hit ratio, panalo naman nito For others, pag sobrang high conviction sila, they take that. Risk 20, win 1. Pero ako, not justified. Kahit na alam kong 95% hit ratio, mananalo naman yung 1, sa'yo na yun. Ayoko kasi ma-black swan hit na. I think psychologically, kahit na mataas naman yung credit spread strategy, I just really take the 70 to 80% probabilities. Hindi ko tinetake yung mga 95%, 99% probability. And the reason why I don't do that is because mataas nga yung probability. Pero you're just collecting $1. Pag magkamali ka dyan ng isa, sa 99 trades that you make, di 99 pennies na kuha mo. Sa isang trade mali ka, 50:1 yung payoff. Babayaran mo siya ng $50. Kaya ka nakakarinig ng mga lottery options. Yung tipong, okay, I'll pay $1, kumita ako ng $50. I pay 100, tapos my 100 became 5,000. Nag-out of the money lottery call play yun. I don't play that. I think na yung 1 in a million chance, di ko na ginagawa yun. Kasi lottery mindset, di ba? 100 times likely for you to get hit by lightning rather than win the lottery. I don't need to bet on yung mga lottery plays. If I'm gonna bet on options, let's do it in the consistent manner. Kasi the selling credit strategy, so many people do this and they can grind tipong consistent money for a living yan. So the moment that you learn this, guys, sobrang matutuwa ka. This is as close to consistent money trading for a living by selling credit spreads. Okay, bye-bye.